Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a new video and this is a highly requested video. A lot of you reached out asking me for tips on the Plab 2 exam, passing the exam, my study materials and everything that I used for the exam. And so I've decided to film this video for you guys to share my own study process and some additional tips that I believe will help you if you're someone preparing for the Plab 2 or the UK medical licensing exams part 2. Hopefully everything here is going to help you. I have my laptop here with some of my notes. Although the exam is still called Plab 2, it is the structure of the UK medical licensing assessment exam, so the structure is different. Okay, so although the name has not yet changed, but I think from next year it's going to change. And I wrote the UKMLA structured exam, so all my tips will be regarding that as well, as it has already changed. Also, there are some new changes that has happened with the exam. Previously, if you want to pass the Plab 2 exam, I'll call it Plab 2 for the purpose of this video. If you want to pass the Plab 2 exam, you have to pass 10 stations and out of the 16 stations and get an average score. Usually they calculate the average score for the exam and then you need to pass the average score. So you have to pass 10 stations and also pass the average score as well. If you pass 10 stations but your scores is, maybe if the pass mark is 100 and you get a 99 but you passed 14 stations, you have still failed the exam. So that is how it is. But from November of 2024, they are actually changing how they grade and assess this exam. So what they are going to do now is that if they are going to make an average of the result for that day and for your exam venue as well, meaning if the average participants of the exam pass 12 stations, means 12 stations will be the pass level for that exam. If people don't do as well and average is 9 stations, it will come down to 9 stations. It's no longer going to be fixed at 10 stations as the pass mark. All right, so that is a change that has happened, and from now henceforth that's how it's going to be. But when I wrote the exam, it was still 10 stations. Thankfully, I was able to pass 15 stations and I did not use any academy, any physical or online mocks. So I'm going to be sharing my own resources and the things that actually helped me. And if you actually need to use an academy as well, because I did not use it doesn't mean I would not have benefited from it, or it's not important for you to use it. So just stick through with me throughout the whole video. And also I am going to be discussing why I failed that one station that I did not pass, or at least why I think I failed that one station, and I think it's going to help you as well. So I'm going to be discussing that at the end of the video, so stick with me, stick through till the end. Okay, if you're watching this video, you should be subscribed to my YouTube channel. It means you're interested in the Plab 2, working as a doctor in the UK, and I'm documenting my whole process on this channel. So you should not watch this video without being subscribed to my YouTube channel. So please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because I know it is going to help you. This is what I needed before I went to write that exam. I wish someone had broken it down to me the way I'm about to break it down to you. All right, especially if you're not going to use an academy. Everything I'm going to say in this video is going to be so helpful for you. All right, so a little bit about my history. When I took this exam, I had about over 2 years of clinical experience. So I didn't write this exam straight out of medical school. I've been working in the hospital. I'm seeing patients, taking history, managing patients. So I've had 2 years under my belt. And this exam is a clinical exam. You're seeing patients, and you have to manage patients, do examinations. So some of these things I have already mastered. So if you're someone that is straight out of medical school and you have not mastered some of this, I think it might be a little bit challenging for you. But if you already have clinical experience, you'll be at an advantage. So in the Plab 2 exam, there are 16 stations. Actually, there are 18 stations. 2 stations are rest, meaning that you actually have questions for 16 stations, and in between there are rest stations. Each station is 8 minutes, and you have 1 minute 30 seconds to transition from one station to the next, and also to read your questions. But I'm going to break all of this down much later. Okay, so how long did I use to study? I had 5.5 months from the day I booked my exam till the date that I actually took the exam. So I was not sure how long I was supposed to use to prepare for the exam, so I just took an average of the people that I know have written the exams, when they passed Plab 1 and when they took Plab 2. I just took an average because I was not sure how long I needed, and I saw most people took about 6 months. So I said, fine, that's okay. I was planning to use also that same amount. So I had 5.5 months before my exam date. But I was very, very confused. When it was time to start the study process, I was so confused. I didn't know where to start from. I didn't know what materials to use. I saw materials floating everywhere on Facebook because I joined Facebook groups, but I was so confused. Everyone I knew that was taking this exam was using an academy, and I was not using one. I was actually hoping to join one because after my Plab 1 exam, I was hoping to join an academy, but it was just too expensive and I could not afford it. It was too expensive for a 2 weeks class, and I had to find an alternative because I had no choice. I had to find other ways to prepare for the exam without that academy. So I joined some WhatsApp groups that had other people preparing for the exams. So I also figured out that there are a number of people that were preparing for these exams and were not also using academies. So it made me feel better, made me realize that okay, maybe it's actually possible. And in those groups, when people pass their exams, they come back, they give testimonies, and a number of people were passing it without using academy. And this honestly just made me feel better, made me realize that it was actually possible for me to pass the exam as well. And I'm not trying to bash academies, they have their use, and because I didn't use one doesn't mean you should not. And I'm going to actually give you some reasons why I think you should use an academy if you need to, just much later in the video. So I was very, very encouraged by seeing this, but of course I was still confused about how to go about it, study materials and everything. Then I heard about Dr. Ame. Dr. Ame was giving some free classes on Monday and Friday evenings, discussing the cases and just answering questions of people that had questions regarding the exams. And then I also heard that he was doing a 4-day intensive course, and I decided to join that intensive course. It was not free, it was paid, but it was much more affordable than going to an academy. And I took this intensive course. Let me see. Yeah, I took this intensive course 4.5 months to my exam now. And this course really just helped me. It laid a very strong foundation for me preparing for this exam. He broke down everything that was necessary. He broke down all the stations, what you need to know. He tried to teach the structure and everything during these 4 days. I actually have a vlog on my channel. I'll leave it in the description box so that you can go watch out when I was taking this intensive course, because it was at night from like 5 p.m. sometimes till midnight, almost 7 hours on some days. But he took his time and he broke down these stations, and that was the best thing anyone could do for me. If you had any questions, he was willing to answer it, and that course was more than I could ask for. It was the foundation that I needed to start my preparation. So after that, I also continued joining his free classes, the one he had on Monday night and on Friday night, where he will simulate for people writing the exam. They will come, he will act as the patient, and there's interaction, everyone is listening. And then he will give corrections, he will give advice on how to approach different scenarios. He also had opportunities for people that wanted to ask questions to also ask. So maybe if you practice the case somewhere else, or you are thinking of how to approach any type of scenarios regarding to the exam, you can actually come and ask. So that was really, really good. That just really helped me. I also attended some other mocks where people simulated for others, and I heard others criticize it, and just constantly listening to people present just really helped me, especially for cases that maybe I had not read yet, but really just helped me. When I see people make mistakes and I learn from their mistakes, I hear them being corrected, I just take note of all of this, and that was really, really helpful. Now, I'll say I had about 3 months of intensive study for this exam. So I'm going to take you guys through my study materials. I only used 2 things to study for these exams. One, I used One Necker computerized notes, and I used Moshobi notes. Now, Moshobi notes was my main study material. If you don't know, Moshobi is also an academy, but the notes are also available online, so you can get those as well. I read those notes, and the notes covers the different parts of the exam. So there's the teaching to the exam. There are different parts of the exam, and I hope you already know this if you're watching this video, but if you don't, there's the teaching part of the exam, whereby you have to teach someone about maybe a case or anything. You have to teach someone how to maybe how to take their medications, how to use an EpiPen. You might also be teaching your colleague or teaching a medical student. It can be any of that. There are also procedures in the examination. You have to do procedures. There's also counseling in the examination. There's breaking bad news as well. There's the seaman station, whereby you have to handle an emergency scenario right there with a mannequin in front of you. There's also the prescription part of the exam. There's examination. You get to examine the patient. Then there's also the good old history taking, management, treating, diagnosis. You also get to see those as well. So these are some of the stations that you can see in the exam. So Moshobi had notes for all of these different types of scenarios, and I went through his notes, and they were really, really helpful for me. I also used One Necker's notes to supplement, because you can't just use one person. I feel like it was so good for me to compare some of the scenarios. So in this note, especially for the history part, you just see conversations of history taking. You get to understand the structure, see the management. So I would compare some of the cases with One Necker's computerized notes as well. And sometimes whichever structure is better for me is the one I'm going to use if I ever see a station like that. So that's what I was able to do. I know there are so many notes out there, but I didn't want to use too much, and I will advise you not to use too much so you are not confused. All right, I used only 2, and I recommend you use 2 as well. It can be any 2, but these were the 2 that I actually used. All right, so now let's talk about timing. This is so important, and I did not know this prior to the exam. There's something about the timing that I did not know prior to the exam, because I did not use any academy, but I'm going to give it to you guys in this video. So first of all, you have 8 minutes in a station, and you have 1 minute 30 seconds to read the question. So let me break it down. So you have 8 minutes. Once your 8 minutes is up, you are going to hear move to the next station. So from the moment that you are getting up from your seat to come out of the station to start reading the next question, your 1 minute 30 seconds is already counting. So you might not have exactly 1 minute 30 seconds to read the question. All right. So once you hear enter the room, your 1 minute 30 seconds is over, and your 8 minutes is already beginning to count. So however long it will take you to enter into the room, to greet your examiner and all of that, your 8 minutes is already counting. So take note of that. All right. So during my practice, I would practice with 7 minutes, try and finish a station in 7 minutes, sometimes 8 minutes. And I try to speak gently and not be in a rush, because you think you don't have enough time, you can be speaking very fast. But when you're practicing, try and speak slowly, don't be in a rush, and still try to cover everything within that 8 minutes time allocated to you. But usually on the exam day, most people don't have any issue with time. You might think 8 minutes is not enough, but somehow on the exam day, that time is actually enough for you to cover almost everything that you have to cover. So I didn't have any issue with time, and majority of people don't have any issue with time as well. So yeah, talking about mocks, some physical mocks, online mocks, these are important. But I did not do any paid mock. I didn't do any physical mock or any online mock. I had my study partner and we just practiced together. He would simulate, I would simulate, and we just kept on trying out different scenarios. But even if you don't have a study partner, you can maybe join some online groups and then let people criticize you. People offer free mocks in some of these online groups. If you partake in Dr. Ahmed's class as well, you can also put your name down to present, so that you can also be criticized and corrected as well. So it is actually going to help you. Some additional study materials that will really help you are YouTube videos from Geeky Medics and Aspire. I watched these videos. I watched them do examinations, procedures, breaking bad news, and I didn't have a mannequin with me, but I could see how they're doing these procedures, doing these examinations, and also talking to patients as well. So these are things that really helped me. So if you can, go watch Geeky Medics on YouTube and Aspire. They have a whole range of videos that contains different parts of the exams, and I think it will be really helpful to you as well. Now, some benefits that I had that I think helped me is that it's my clinical experience that I already had. A lot of these procedures, examination, and emergency handling, some of these emergency situations, I already knew how to handle them. So I just had to find the right approach. So I didn't struggle with having to learn these things and master it at that time. Also, the way that I see my patients in the hospital here in Nigeria is very similar to the UK standard. I don't see my patients like the regular Nigerian doctor. I'm usually not in a hurry to see my patients. I like to explain procedures to my patients. I like to break down diagnoses. I take my time to break bad news, to counsel patients. So these are things that I already knew how to do, and I was already doing as a doctor in Nigeria. And luckily, it just helped me when it came to the Plab 2 exam. So that was a benefit that I had. And also, I do YouTube, so I talk a lot. I sit down here, I make videos. I don't have any problem communicating. This exam is mostly about communication, how you communicate with your patient, how you break information down, and I don't have a problem talking. So this is a benefit that I had. I could speak confidently, I could speak loud, and that was just a benefit that I had. All right, so now, should you join an academy or not? If you can afford an academy, if I could afford an academy, I would have actually joined one. There are benefits to joining an academy. You will get to do physical mocks, you will get reviewed, you will get critiqued, and you actually learn things. You have a proper mannequin as well that you can actually use to practice. But I didn't join one. But for you, should you join? Well, I'll suggest you join an academy if, one, you have no clinical experience, meaning you've not worked in a hospital, you've not interacted with patients on your own, you don't know how to do certain procedures or examinations. So mostly if you are coming out of medical school, most people write this exam out of medical school, and if that is your situation, then I would suggest you join an academy. It will help you to master these procedures, these examinations. It will also boost your confidence as well, because there are people there reviewing you for the examination. So yeah. Number 2, if you're watching this and you're not from an English-speaking country, you don't speak English fluently, I think you should join an academy, so you'll be able to practice a lot more. So you'll be able to also understand how to communicate properly with patients in English, because it is so important. And I think maybe this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't pass, because of communication issues. So if you have trouble communicating, then you need to join an academy or do a lot of physical mocks so you can improve your communication skills. Then number 3, if you can afford it and you think you just need that extra guidance, if after studying on your own you don't think it's enough and you can afford it, join an academy. It is actually going to help you. Okay, so that is it. I have some bonus tips as well for the exam. Okay, number 1, practice. You cannot be overly prepared. Just continue practicing all the scenarios. Practice. Number 2, just be a doctor. This is an interaction between you as a patient, as a doctor and a patient. So I know it's important to have a structure for different scenarios in the exam, but you might see a case that maybe you didn't read and you're so confused in the exam hall, and all I can advise you at that moment is to take a deep breath and be a doctor. If this is a patient that walked into your hospital, how would you interact with the patient? Do that. Don't be afraid to tell the patient in front of you, please give me a moment, let me gather my thoughts. Or to say, I'm not so sure. These are things that you actually do in a hospital. So do them right there in your exam. They are not just there to judge your medical knowledge. They also want to ensure that you are a safe doctor. That is something that is so important in this exam. They are trying to judge and ensure that you are a safe doctor. That you will not just make rash decisions. That you will always confirm with your seniors. That you know how to manage and do procedures for your level without trying to do things that you are not allowed to do. Just things that make you a safe doctor. Now, I also say it is better to be unsure about a diagnosis and say that you are not sure and that you will discuss it with your seniors than to give a wrong diagnosis. And this leads me to what I told you guys I was going to talk about in the beginning. That station I did not pass. Why I did not pass it was because of this. I saw a station and and I was not sure. I was not sure of my diagnosis. And I decided to give a wrong diagnosis. You know, some people will tell you that even if your diagnosis is wrong, you will still pass the station. You still pass the exam. But I can tell you that maybe that happened when they were still using the Plab structure. But with this UKMLA structure, if you tell a patient a wrong diagnosis, you're giving them reason to worry. You are not going to pass that station. If you are not sure, it is better you say you are not sure. You cross-check with your seniors, or you need to do a couple more investigations, but do not give a wrong diagnosis. All right? Good. If you're watching this video, you should be subscribed to my YouTube channel. It means you're interested in the Plab 2, working as a doctor in the UK, and I'm documenting my whole process on this channel. So you should not watch this video without being subscribed to my YouTube channel. So please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because I know it is going to help you. This is what I needed before I went to write that exam. I wish someone had broken it down to me the way I'm about to break it down to you. Alright, especially if you're not going to use an academy. Everything I'm going to say in this video is going to be so helpful for you. Alright, the next bonus tip: it is so important to be calm in that exam. Your voice should be collected. Use real emotions. Yes, you know that the person in front of you is not a real patient, but in that situation, that person is a real patient. Talk to him or her like you're talking to a real patient. You need to be collected. Don't sound nervous. Don't sound like you are in an exam. Yes, this is so important. Do not. Be calm and be collected with the patient in front of you. Be empathetic. When a patient tells you something terrible, show empathy. Say, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. That must be difficult for you. Empathy is so important. You need to be a human being. You need to empathize with the patient in front of you. Do not forget that. Don't sound arrogant. Do not. All right. Also, next bonus tip: everything you see in a station is there for a reason. I had this problem in one of my stations, although I still passed that station. But everything you see is there for a reason. If you see a mannequin, you're supposed to do something with that mannequin. If you see a table set up with things, you are supposed to do something. There's no way you should leave that station without doing anything with that mannequin or whatever is in that room with you. All right, it's not like they did not just keep those things there because they don't have storage space. You have to use it and do something. Even if the patient does not point it to you and tell you, oh please go and do the examination there, you are supposed to know. I had that problem in my exam. There was a station whereby I saw those things there, but when I was interacting with the patient and I was telling the patient, okay, I'm going to examine you, I'm going to do this exam and that exam, the patient just kept on saying, okay, all right, and I continued. I was expecting this patient to point and say, okay, go and do the exam there. This patient did not. I kept on talking and talking, and I was waiting for the patient to give me the nudge, like, go and do the examination. The patient did not. When I had 2 minutes remaining, I had to tell the patient I had to go there and do that examination. That examination was the last thing I did in that station, although I'd already run through my management and finished that station. But I said there's no way I can leave that station without doing that examination. So I stood up and I went to do the examination, although of course taking consent from the patient as well. But everything you see in a station, even if nobody points, nobody is going to be telling you anything. You must do something on that. All right. The last bonus tip is don't go late for your exam. On no account should you go late. If you go late, they won't let you write the exam. In fact, they'll just give you back your money. Your money will come back into your account. Do not go late for the exam. It's an international exam, so prepare ahead of time. Okay, so these are the things that helped me. These are the things that I did to prepare for the exam, and hopefully they help you. I know this video is a bit long, so if you've gotten what you want from it, just give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and you can leave and go study. But I want to share my exam day, what exactly happened, getting to the venue, the processes that we went through, and all of that. So if that's something that you want to hear, then you can just continue watching. So on the morning of the exam, I have shared in my Plab 2 videos some issues I had getting to the exam venue. So just ensure that you either use a taxi, Bolt, or you leave very, very early. Okay? When I got to the exam venue, in fact, it was so hard to locate where the building was, because although I knew the area the building was, I never ever went some days before to actually find the building and know the easiest route to get to the exact building. So on the day, I got there to the venue at I was supposed to be there by 11:30, so about 11:25 I got there, walked into the beautiful building. It's actually a beautiful building depending on where you are writing. Both square and street are close to each other. Yes, they are close to each other. So if you find yourself in square and you're supposed to write in street, they are all neighbors in that same area. So I got there, we sat down for a bit, then there's a man that will come meet you and get your information, you join a queue, and they put you in an elevator to actually go up to the floor of where the exam is. When you get there, you submit your international passport, so do not forget your international passport. You submit it to them, they give you your name tag, which you have to paste on your body, and then they give you a tag. What do they call this? I forgot what it's called, but it's a key. You wear a key, but the rope of the key has a color. So they give you a locker where you go store your sweater, because you can't go in with any sweater. And that leads me to dress code. It's so important that you wear something that is comfortable. You have to wear short sleeve, or if you're wearing long sleeve, you have to fold it, because from your elbow downwards has to be out. Don't wear anything below your elbows, or you just fold your sleeves up. If you are a hijabi, you wear hijab. You can wear your hijab. Nobody has an issue with that. You just have to dress comfortably, like you're going to work. Dress professionally and comfortably. That's it. You store your sweaters if it's cold. Don't bother about cold. Inside there is not actually cold, and you can't wear sweaters or hoodies into the exam area. So you put that in a locker. They take a picture of you, and yeah, They keep you there waiting for how long? Maybe about 2 hours, 3 hours. You have to wait, depending on if you're writing in the morning or in the afternoon, because there's the morning session and there's the afternoon session. So you just wait for a couple of hours. Till mine was the afternoon session, so we had to wait for about 3 hours, about 2 hours 30 minutes for the afternoon session. For the morning session to finish, they take you into a room, all right, and they have coffee there, tea, water. You just sit down there and you just wait, basically. Then the person in charge of the exams will come and talk to you, give you some advice, and basically just prepare you, tell you not to be nervous, and give you some advice. Those you will get on the exam day. And when it's time for your exam, depending on the color that you have on that keychain given to you, that will determine your group. So there are 2 groups. There is actually a video on the GMC YouTube page. I'll leave the link to that video in the description box. You can actually go see. That is what will happen on the exam day, what will be in that video. Also, the name tag that you paste on your body will have a number. The number on it is the station that you're going to start with. So not everybody is starting with station 1 or 2. If the number on your shirt is 12, you are starting with 12. And you just proceed 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Then you start from 1, 2, 3 till you get to 11 and you end your exam. Your rest stations can be anywhere in between. You might even be starting with a rest station, but you will not know. But what is on your tag is the number you will start with. So if maybe the tag you're wearing on your neck is red, everybody wearing red will be in one group, and you all go to your side. Anybody wearing maybe orange, you're going to another section for the exam. So yeah, I think you should watch that video on the GMC website. You get to the exam area, the questions pasted right outside on the board. So these are things that if you join an academy, you would know ahead of time. But I was able to watch that video on the GMC website, so that actually just helped me. And then you get in, and 3 hours 30 minutes or however long the exam is will just fly. It happened so fast, so fast. I was thinking, oh my god, I'm going to be so tired, I'm going to get tired in the middle of the exam, but it happened so fast and it's over. 8 minutes goes by so fast, 18 station goes by so fast, and you come out and you go and you wait for your results. The results can take any time between the exam day and 1 month. So anytime between that, you will get your results in the email. You can go watch my results video. I documented myself, see my results. So you can go watch and check that out. But yeah, this has been a great video to film. Please, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer it and to help you. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video. If you're watching this video, you should be subscribed to my YouTube channel. It means you're interested in the Plab 2, working as a doctor in the UK, and I'm documenting my whole process on this channel. So you should not watch this video without being subscribed to my YouTube channel. So please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.